Hi, my name is Shawn with SITEK Process Solutions. Today I'm here to demonstrate how to set your rotor to 12 o'clock if it is out of position. Step one to align your rotor is you're going to want to remove the rotor bolt from the tool. I would recommend removing it completely. The next step would be that you want to verify that your rotor pin is in the proper position and in the notch of the tool. So you can verify this with the tool on by putting the rotor into the motor shaft, and then rotating it until it clicks into place. And you can feel it solid, and you can tell that the RSP is holding it because you can rotate it and let go and it'll go back to the same position it was in. The next step is going to be to go to the back of the tool and adjust the cam. All right, the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come to your cam and you're going to want to loosen the hardware on the cam itself. So loosen both of these. Sometimes if you loosen both of the set screws on the cam, that's enough to be able to rotate your rotor. But oftentimes it's not, so what you're going to want to do is loosen the nut on the QD shaft, the nylock nut, like this, with either a crescent wrench, or if you have a special socket, you can put it on the end of this and do it, but a crescent wrench works great. So loosen that a tiny bit to where it's just a tiny bit loose. And then the next step is you're going to want to have somebody go to the front of the tool and hold your rotor in place at 12 o'clock for you. It's easier with two people. So you're going to want to have somebody grab, unless you can reach around and hold it from the back yourself, you're going to want to have somebody rotate the cam to the 12 o'clock position and rotate the rotor to the 12 o'clock position and hold it in place like this. At least have it locked into the 12 o'clock position, ensuring that it stays locked into the notch on the motor shaft. While you have somebody holding the shaft or holding the rotor in the front of the tool, you're going to want to come to the back of the cam here and make sure that your RSP notch is still aligned with your RSP sensor. So if you look at your encoder wheel, the encoder wheel may be loose and you will be able to rotate it slightly like this. And you're going to want to align that to the center. Make sure that it stays at least in the center of your RSP sensor. The next step is you're going to want to come and tighten the set screws for the encoder wheel and for the motor shaft. This locks the cam to the motor shaft and should help hold it at 12 o'clock. The last step is to come over here with your wrench and your crescent wrench and tighten down the nylock nut on the QD shaft in the back. Make sure that it's nice and firm while somebody's holding the rotor so it stays at 12 o'clock. And then you're going to want to go back to the tool and ensure that the rotor is still in 12 o'clock position. While the rotor is in a 12 o'clock position, you can actually check and make sure that your hardware is tightened enough in the back by trying to rotate the rotor a little bit, which it stays locked into the same position, and it's good to go right there. So then the next step will be to reinstall the rotor bolt in the center. And then your tool is ready for operation again. If it does slip past a little bit again and it goes back out of position, just re-go over the steps in this video and confirm that you tighten down the hardware enough in the back that the rotor stays locked in the right position. If your rotor is out of position and your cam is aligned properly and your motor notch is aligned properly to the 12 o'clock position inside the tool, the notch in the motor is at the 12 o'clock position. The pin on the motor shaft here, on the rotor shaft, may not be aligned to the proper position inside the tool. If you're getting a rotor up air and your rotor is at the 12 o'clock position, that means that your encoder wheel is not properly aligned with your RSP sensor. To align the RSP sensor with the encoder wheel, you're going to want to loosen the set screws on the cam like this. And then you will need to rotate the encoder wheel until it properly aligns with the center of the optical sensor for the RSP. So just adjust it while somebody holds the rotor so that it does not change position until you align with the center, and then your warning light goes away on the tool. And then simply just lock the set screws back in place. And your tool should show that your rotor is in the right position now. If you still have a problem, then you possibly have a bad sensor.